A shift of perspective. Winter was always frosty where Oliver lived. Even in the last days of the season, it was still extremely cold in some areas, especially in the mountains. The wind howled eerily outside of every door, like a lurking predator about to strike. A blanket of pure white snow lay over everything in sight. Because of this, whenever winter showed its menacing face, Oliver would retreat like a cat hissing at the sight of water, curling up by the warm and inviting fireplace in his home. But this one particular winter was different from the rest. "Why are we doing this?" Oliver panted for the 100th time. It was the last day of winter when his dad just had to drag him away from his cozy spot next to the fireplace to go on a freezing hike up a small mountain. Because of this stupid, according to Oliver, climb, Oliver's face and the many freckles around his long, thin nose was as pale as a vampire's. "You stayed home all winter. It's time for a break and to admire the first blossoms of spring," his dad explained for the 100th time as well on the way to the mountain. Walking through snow wasn't easy, and the mountain wasn't too close to their home either. And after all that complaining, they finally reached the base of the mountain. From there, the top looks so far away. "Oh, great," Oliver muttered, brushing the thin cover of snow off his dark, messy hair. "We are never making it to the top." Even the fresh blooming of the flowers, hinting at the arrival of spring, wasn't enough to lift Oliver's mood. They had been walking for an hour, and he had managed to take exactly 30 rests along the way. To make matters worse, they were only halfway there. Sighing dramatically, Oliver wished he could magically disappear and teleport back in the comforting warmth of his home, which now sat patiently, quietly waiting for its return far, far away. Suddenly, Oliver felt a little tap on his head, then another, and then more. Rain. "Not good. We might need to stop here for a bit," his dad said. "I hope it's not a long delay." The umbrellas popped up just in time as Oliver crouched down, groaning. "Rain? Really? This couldn't get any worse." But he was wrong. The rain poured down like someone had packed extra water into a cloud, and now it was bursting uncontrollably. Oliver put his head in his hand. It felt like a bubble of frustration was swelling inside his chest. "Oliver, listen," his dad whispered, noticing how upset he was. Oliver looked up. Into his ears drifted a soft tune, a lively but gentle music that felt strangely natural. "Listen to the rain play its amazing instrument," his dad said with a smile. For the first time on the hike, Oliver gave a tiny smile back. It was as if the heavens noticed and were pleased, because not long after, the rain stopped and the glowing sun peeked out from behind the clouds. For once, Oliver's expression had changed. The frown had softened into a small, curious smile. As they walked alongside the river bank, the water trickled playfully and gently. Oliver began to wonder if the hike was really that bad, after all. He had always disliked long walks or treks, but suddenly, the rain that seemed awful had become the thing that turned his mood around. That one thought had kept him going, curious and content as they climbed nearly to the top. But just as he was starting to enjoy it, a final challenge shattered all of Oliver's newly found positivity. It started as a barely noticeable breeze, innocent. But as they went further, the wind slowly turned up its strength until suddenly a small blizzard slammed into Oliver and his dad. It was like a sleeping predator has woken up angry. The gentle breeze had become a raging beast, wiping away their vision and testing their strength. It was terrible. The icy winds felt like little daggers stabbing into Oliver's skin. Chills ran down his spine. "Oh no! Hold on, Oliver!" his dad shouted as the wind roared like a wild bull preparing to charge. Oliver didn't know how long he had been trapped in the blizzard. It felt like hours. His balance was slipping. Just as the storm reached its peak, Oliver felt his body give in. His consciousness drifted away like a star disappearing into the light. Then darkness. He collapsed into the snow. Oliver, Oliver, a quiet voice called. No, go away, Oliver thought. Oliver, Oliver, came again. Oh, what do you want? And then he snapped awake. Silence. Oliver looked around. The blizzard was gone. The wild wind was gone. All that remained was him and his dad. I was so worried. Are you okay? Are you hurt? His dad asked, eyes full of concern. I'm fine, Oliver replied, pushing Dad gently away. But that's it. I'm done, Oliver cried. I shouldn't have made you come. I'm sorry, his dad said softly. But I just wanted to show you something. Curious, Oliver stood up. His dad turned him around. What Oliver saw made him forget of all his complaints, all his worries, all his frustration. Blowing gently towards him was the most breathtaking sight he has ever seen. $1 million view, a kind only seen by people who push through. The beaming sky shone through on the world below, welcoming spring with open arms. The legendary landscape before him stole his breath away. His dad smiled. You know, sometimes the greatest treasure is the journey itself, not just the goal. And if you shift your perspective, you find happiness in the most unexpected place. Even the blizzard was like the boss before the prize. And the rain, one of the most beautiful tunes ever. The best rewards come in all shapes and sizes, but only hard workers ever see them. Oliver grinned. Those words had sank into his heart, carving a brand new version of himself, one who was eager, hardworking, and always ready to shift his perspective.